AJ Knight, Ajay Salvesen with you at Lynn R. Miller Field. The final here tonight, Sky View 23, Mountain Crest 0. Sky View Bobcat football is brought to you by Larry Smithfield Pharmacy. They're your hometown pharmacy for all your prescription and over-the-counter medicines, located at 502 South Main in Smithfield. And Mountain Crest football is brought to you by their Booster Club. They appreciate all their sponsors who help make Mountain Crest athletics possible, like Hiram Chevron, Lawn Doctor, Mountain Ridge Furniture, ATG, Myers Plumber, Cookfoot and Ankle, and more. We're in the Auto Lead broadcast booth again. The final here tonight, Sky View 23, Mountain Crest 0. That moves Sky View to 3-0, Mountain Crest to 2-1. We already heard the final. Well, let's get the finals again. What were the other two scores?
35-0, Green Canyon Blanks, Bear River. 31-28 with 2.5. Logan was leading us the last we had heard. Haven't heard anything since.
You think that game goes to overtime?
I don't know. Depends.
That's a big one. Both teams looking for their first region win. And Logan still has to play Skyview. So the win here for Skyview tonight moves them to third. They're in first place. Mountain Crest and Bear River, drop to 2-1. That's where we'll be next week. And then Mountain Crest gets to win 1 and 2, and they'll be tied with whoever wins out of Logan or Ridgeline. The loser of that game will be 0-3.
Well, AJ, I'll be gone next week. Then the following week, Ridgeline's got the broadcast for us.
Yes.
And then the following week, we've got Bountiful on Wednesday, and then we are headed for the state playoffs, believe it or not.
Yes, we are. So, Ajay, what we got to do then is we got to first for Skyview pick the Old Gristmill bread and butter play of the game. And I don't know about you, for me, I think it's got to be that first running into the punter, because at the point in the game, it was still 3-0 Skyview. Mountain Crest gets a stop, they run into the punter, and then that penalty ends up leading to the drive that scored 7 points. And when it's 23-0, 10 points is pretty insurmountable, it felt like at that point.
So, and that's a good one. I'm going to put it as a very close second, that 4th and 1 stop here on this side of the field. You want to talk about pride. You want to talk about having a say in this rivalry. You hold them to a shutout because you cared. And for me, for Skyview, that means a lot.
Yeah, you could tell when they were down here inside the 10, Mountain Crest was at the end of the 4th, and Skyview held them without a touchdown. They were very excited.
Yeah, they absolutely cared.
2 straight shutouts for them.
Yep. But we'll go with the roughing the punter.
So we'll go with the running into the punter for the Old Gristmill bread and butter play of the game.
It's a roughing the punter because it's 15 yards.
Yeah, sorry, roughing the punter. So make sure you listen Monday to Eric and Ajay as they give away a certificate good for 4 loaves of bread to the caller who can correctly identify that play. Old Gristmill has amazing lunches, bagels, sandwiches, soups, and ice cream. They're located in Logan, Brigham City, Ogden, and coming soon to Smithfield. Now for Mountain Crest, it's the Great Basin Graphics Made You Look play. And for that, I gotta think, even though it's not necessarily the most positive play, it's that incomplete pass that was a fumble and probably a touchdown for the Mustangs.
That's amazing. It still is a fumble and it still is a touchdown. And who knows what happens after that? It's a what if kind of thing. But it's a bummer for Mountain Crest, and to be quite honest, that's how their season is gone.
Yeah. But that is the Great Basin Graphics Made You Look play. They have detailed embroidery at Great Basin Graphics. Awesome original designs that made you look. Go to greatbasingraphics.com for details. A couple of final stats here before we pick our players of the game for Mountain Crest. Really, it was Schroeder and a whole lot of not a lot of contribution. Again, on the night when Burbank goes 1 for 2, and then he goes out with the injury, and then Baldwin goes 1 for 2, it kind of limits who's going to be able to contribute on the offensive side. Schroeder had 76 yards in the first half. He finished with 168 to go with the 200 and almost 50 he had last week. Can't say that, man, he has got to be tired.
Yeah,
he's going to wear out an ice tub, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't know how he's going to feel tomorrow morning. He took a pretty physical beating, too, in this game.
Not to mention he's also one of their starting inside backers. So no surprise, he is our Mountain Crest player of the game. And on the Skyview side, Mason Falslev ended up with 2 touchdowns, but we're going to give it to Carlson, the quarterback, still in kind of a tough spot. He's only starting his 3rd game, comes to a hostile crowd, and actually plays pretty well. He's still got a little bit of touch to add to his game, but push comes to shove, he had a solid game tonight.
I thought he
against
was
a good
great.
defense.
I really do. I thought he was great. And again, back-to-back third and long conversions on that first drive, and he gets them both. Back-to-back third and long conversions on the second drive, and he gets them both. Kid was just clutch when they needed him to be. He's a good little quarterback, like you said. You got to work on a couple of touches, lob. But other than that, he'll be just fine.
He finishes with 197 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. Most importantly,
Good heck.
No turnovers. And on a night where the running game really didn't get going until late for Skyview, he was able to keep the offense moving enough to get this game won.
Yep.
So final score again, Skyview 23, Mountain Crest 0. Ajay's got other duties to do apparently. He's slacking, so I will be with you next week as Mountain Crest goes to Bear River. And then Skyview's on the road as well. Again, they're at Logan, so the legendary Al Lewis will be on that call.
Yes, sorry. I heard you wrong.
So make sure you keep track of the schedule, of course, and where you can stream at CashValleyDaily.com. Ajay, safe travels to you next week.
Godspeed, kid.
Good luck to these teams the rest of the season. Final again, Skyview 23, Mountain Crest 0. Big thanks to our producer back in the studio, Diana Young, AJ Knight, Ajay Salvesen with you.
This broadcast has been brought to you by Spicy Pork and Beans.
And we'll see you next week for the Cache Valley Media Group Radio Network.